Okay, I'll let you know. I'm still in the loading screen. I forgot to click watch. Roll it. And welcome back, folks, to the second race of the evening here with the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series. We've got open setup 360 wing sprint cars here, and you guessed it, a Knoxville Raceway. A little random drawing there, a randomly done draw the same track twice. So we are going to run open setup 360s here this evening. A little bit different format. We're in a pre-race practice right now here with the open setup 360 sprint cars. Then we'll go into single car qualifying. And then we are scheduled to have heat races as well as features this evening. Yeah, I see 4 heat races scheduled. We've got time for a C main and a B main, and then our main event this evening. Right now, quick time on the racetrack, the 22 of Jason Nygaard, the MAV TV backed 22 machine. A 15.874 second lap time here at Knoxville Raceway. Chris Brenner looking for a little redemption here in 360 competition after a rough night in the 305 race just a few moments ago. Was running in the second position and got a little bit of contact there with James Edens. Ended up getting into the wall. Unfortunately for Brenner, it ended his race prematurely. But right now sitting second in the pre-race practice standings, a 15.896, the best lap for Chris Brenner. 23 thousandths of a second off pace with Jason Nygaard. Justin Thomas right now, third spot. The Mode Media House sponsor number 23 machine. Right now a 15.907 second lap, 33 thousandths of a second off the top spot. James Edens there was our quick qualifier in the 305 race just a moment ago. Right now fourth quick in pre-race practice here. The curb records back to number 52 machine. 15.956 is the time for the 52 car. Fourth quick, 82 thousandths out of the top spot. Rusty Kruger rounds out the top 5 with a 15.965, another curb records entry. Another driven eSport sponsored car, Rusty Kruger, 15.965. 91 thousandths of a second on the top spot. I tell you what, we don't really break into tenths of a second until we get to 8th position. So the top 7 cars within a tenth of a second on the racetrack right now, running against the clock. We're not racing at this point, like I said. But the top 7 cars within 1/10 of a second of each other. Austin Simmelman, 6th spot right now, a 15.967, and Ryan Martin, 15.969. We've got 30 cars signed in for competition this evening with the open setup 360 sprint cars. Austin Simmelman here, the Oculus Rift, RaceOnTexas.com, and VLR back to number 18 machine right now, 6th on the racetrack, 6th quick, a 15.967. his best time so far this evening. Once again, pre-race practice here for the 360 sprint cars, and Simmelman going to pull it down into the infield there. A little bit of damage on the nose wing, you see. And that is definitely going to affect the way these cars handle. For those of you who may be watching right now and may not know much about what in the world a sprint car is, it's essentially a purpose-built tube frame chassis. You see the one seat there in the center. These particular cars, simulating a 360 sprint car, referred to as the displacement of the engine underneath the hood. 360 cubic inches of typically Chevy-based alcohol-burning horsepower. These cars make about 700, 720, somewhere around in there. Weigh about 1,500 pounds. The big wings on top help glue the car to the racetrack through the corner, and the staggered side sail panels there really help the car steer almost like a rudder through the corners. And the sprint cars really put on a great show, not only in real life but here on iRacing. If you were watching with us just a moment ago, the second night for the 305s, it was a barn burner. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. The win ultimately going to Cole Newhofen. Newhofen took the win over the 74 of Adam Elby. Those two both in competition here in the 360 race as well. These cars, once again, open setups. The 305s, fixed setup cars. Everybody essentially running the same equipment. A little bit different story here. They get to change basically everything on these cars through the iRacing software. You can change shock compression, shock rebound, turns and a torsion stop. You can change air pressure. You can change wing angle, right rear spacing. You can change the gear ratios, how much fuel goes in the cars. Literally anything you can think of, you can change on these cars. And one of the reasons that some of this iRacing is so close, because the cars handle very much like something you would be behind the wheel of in real life. So we love bringing you some of the best when it comes to iRacing here. We are teamed up with Team VLR. We are very excited about this partnership. It's an eight-night series. They're not going to be consecutive because of the time of the year. We're going to have some holidays in there, and we'll keep you posted on both the VLR Facebook page, I'm sure, and definitely the Race on Texas Facebook page, letting you know what dates we're going to be taking off. These videos also available on our YouTube channel, raceontexas.com's YouTube channel. Please be sure to both like and subscribe. Like the Facebook page, follow us on Facebook, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also click the bell icon, so you can get notifications when new videos go live. Both sprint car races from last weekend, that's November 25th, are on the YouTube page. Up on the YouTube channel, you can watch those as many times as you like. We did cut a highlight reel from last weekend. You can check that out at the raceontexas.com Facebook page. About 13 minutes have elapsed here in pre-race practice, and Jason Nygaard is atop the standings. Still 15.874, his best effort. Chris Brenner in second position in the pre-race standings right now, 15.896. And Brenner, like I said, would love nothing more to get a little bit of redemption after the trouble earlier this evening in the 305 race. Was running in the third spot. Got together with another racer, and unfortunately, I believe it was James Edens he got together with there. And unfortunately for Brenner, his night came to an end prematurely. Nonetheless, Chris Brenner right now second in the pre-race practice standings, 15.896. Jason Nygaard still out there, actually back on pit road right now. Only got about 4 cars on the racetrack at this point. Ryan Martin, one of those 4 cars, in 7th position right now at 15.969. Ryan going to be piloting the 024 car this evening. Team VLR and RaceOnTexas.com, as well as Pack 3 Defenses. Like we should be getting ready here to move on from this practice session in just a few moments. We'll be going to single car qualifying, and that is how they will line up for the 4 heat races we have scheduled this evening. Of course, single car qualifying, it's 2 laps. Your best lap against the clock is where you will start in one of our 4 heat races. Couple drivers still making some laps out here, folks. Rusty Kruger, Ryan Martin, Justin Thomas, and Jason Nygaard back on the racetrack. Still Nygaard atop the standings. The track going to be changing as the night goes on. The lap time's probably going to be slower from here on out. Of course, we're about almost 2.5 seconds faster than we were in the 305 sprint cars just a few moments ago. Those cars well down into the 18-second bracket. We are sub 16 seconds here. And I suspect that we will fall down into that 16-second bracket here before too long this evening. The track going to start drying out. You can already see some dust kicking up there off of the 22 of Jason Nygaard. Nygaard right up alongside the wall in turn number 1. That may be where the line ends up this evening. Knowing Knoxville, it's either going to be some guys right down around the bottom or right up around the top. It's really difficult to run through the middle of this racetrack and keep the car stuck to the ground. So we're going to move on into single car qualifying here, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll keep track of some of the top cars as they take to the racetrack. Jason Nygaard out right now for his first timed lap. Nygaard starts the clock this time by through turn number 2, past the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, down the backstretch, right up alongside the wall, like I suspected. Jason Nygaard. MAV TV sponsor number 22 machine, going to get a first lap time of... Oh, did I lose it? There it is. 16.862 seconds for Jason Nygaard. And that is 9th quick. Your quickest car in qualifying at this point, Chris Brenner, 16.632 seconds. Jason Nygaard right now 5th quick, was the fastest car in pre-race practice. Make that 6. These things are going to update in real time. So Nygaard right now sits in the 6th position. 19 cars have qualified out of the 30. And that number keeps increasing. It's now 22. So only 2 laps is all they get. Once you turn in those 2 laps, your times are set and the starting positions will go. And this is how they'll start the 4 heat races. I tell you what, folks, the top 5 cars within a tenth of a second. It's 48 thousandths of a second from 1st to 5th right now in time trials. Looks like still waiting on 2 cars to qualify. The other 28 have all clocked in. And right now, the top eight cars are within 1/10 of a second in qualifying, single car qualifying. Chris Brenner, your top time right now, 16.632. Jason Nygaard, eighth quick. And that are your those are your 8 cars, separated by 73 thousandths of a second. Chris Brenner, David Heilman, Ryan Martin, Timothy Smith, Stephen Calavoda, Randall Carter, James Edens, and Jason Nygaard. Once again, all 8 of those cars separated by 73 thousandths of a second. The 305 feature winner, Cole Newhalfen, clocking in 12th quick with a 16.750 second time. Those of you tuning in this evening through Facebook, through RaceOnTexas.com's Facebook live stream, I want to welcome you. My name is Nick Robbins, and thanks for joining us here. Night number 2 of the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series. We have concluded single car qualifying. Looks like 30 cars signed in this evening with the open setup 360 Sprint Cars. And once again, these races randomly generated. We don't know where we're going to be racing until about 10 minutes before the server launches. Randomly, both races tonight have been at Knoxville Raceway. I can assure you that these races are randomly selected. In fact, the wheel spin videos, are up at Team VLR's Facebook page. And like I said, nobody in the race knows where we're going to be racing until about 10 or so minutes before the race starts. And we have wrapped up single car qualifying for night number 2 of the open setup 360 Sprint Cars. Alex Bergeron picking up the win 1 week ago. Interestingly enough, not in competition tonight. I do not see Alex in the lineup here. So Alex not going to be competing, and not going to be making it 2 in a row here for the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series. We should be getting ready to go here, ladies and gentlemen, for the first of 4 10-lap heat races. Top 4 cars going to be going on to the main event. Everybody else going to be running what we call the alphabet soup. We've got a C main scheduled and a B main scheduled. We'll be getting ready to go here in just a moment. We've got the first heat rolled out onto the race, or stay in the staging area, excuse me. We are still waiting on Skylar Brown to join us here in the staging area. Looks like Chris Brenner, after setting quick time in single car qualifying, going to be starting on the inside of row number 1. Stephen Calavoda going to be to the outside in the 27 car. Dylan Hauser inside row number 2 in the 2. Howard Weaver to the outside in the 07 machine. Weaver going to be outside of row number 2. Row number 3 on the inside should be Skylar Brown. Skylar's still not on the racetrack at this point. He'll be joined by Rusty Kruger in the 5 machine. The 4th and final row of heat race number 1, Kevin Fry on the inside. The Dirt Defender sponsored number 21 machine inside of row number 4, alongside Bradley Stapler in the 13 car. Once again, 10 laps the distance, 8 cars scheduled to be the field. Still waiting on Skylar Brown. Skylar may be having some technical issues. I see here in the... Oh, there's Skylar logged into the session. And we'll get him here. No, we're going to go green off of 4, so I don't know what's going to happen with Skyler there, but he is in pit lane right now, unfortunately missing the green flag. But nonetheless, Chris Brenner going to lead the field through turns 1 and 2. Jumps out to the early lead. The 2-car of Dylan Hauser in second spot. Stephen Calavoda right now duking it out with Weaver for third. Howard Weaver up to third. Stephen Calavoda back to fourth. 1 lap in the books. A 4/10 of a second gap from Brenner. Back to second spot, Dylan Hauser. Hauser still in the second position. 2 laps are complete. Chris Brenner out in front. Dylan Hauser in second spot. Howard Weaver is third. Stephen Calavoda right on his heels there in the 4th position. Rusty Kruger right now 1 spot out of a transfer in the 5th position. And Kruger trying to run down the 4th and final transfer spot right now. That belongs to Stephen Calavoda. I tell you what, the top 5 pretty much single file around the top side of the racetrack. I suspected that might have been the case. The top side, if you can run it, if you can be consistent and keep the cars out of the wall, the top side definitely the way to go around here at Knoxville Raceway. And as soon as I say that, look at Dylan Hauser coming in low, trying to put a slide job on the 70 machine of Chris Brenner. Not quite close enough. Hauser going to hang on to that second position. 6 laps complete. 4 laps to go here in heat race number 1 for the open setup 360 wing sprint cars. Night number 2, the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series. Still working here, heat race number 1. 7 laps complete that time. 3 laps to go. Down the backstretch into turn number 3, your leader is still Chris Brenner. Dylan Hauser in second. Howard Weaver third. Stephen Calavoda, your 4th and final transfer spot. But Calavoda got his hands full with Rusty Kruger. Kruger less than a car length, actually about 2 car lengths now as we come off of turn number 2. Calavoda opens up the gap a little bit. Kruger closing it coming into turn number 3. Rusty Kruger has 1 more lap. Get up there and try to take over that 4th and final transfer position, or he will have to run a B main. Down to the bottom of turn number 3 he goes, coming to the checker flag this time by. Oh, Kruger going to take off the nose. The 2 cars going to get together. I think that it's going to be, yeah, Stephen Calavoda. No. That was before the checker flag. Kevin Fry going to take the 3rd spot. And Rusty Kruger going to get the 4th and final transfer position. Stephen Calavoda going to have to run a B main. Obviously not very happy about that. You saw just before the session ended. And we will move on into heat race number 2. It will be led to the green flag by the 17 of Mr. David Heilman. Randall Carter going to be to the outside in the 37. Anthony Lepresto in the 157 machine going to be inside row number 2. And on his outside, the 421 of Mr. Britton Roxbury. Justin Thomas, the 23 machine going to be inside row number 3. He'll be alongside Dylan Workman in the 15 car on the outside. 4th and final row, 9 car of Jeffrey Vaughn going to be inside that row. And he'll be alongside Bryce Stone in the 6 machine. Once again, folks, 8 cars the field, 10 laps the distance here in heat race number 2. Field going to be bunched up down the front straightaway here. The Pack 3 defenses, sponsor number 17 of Mr. David Heilman, going to lead the field to the green flag. The Iracing.com pace truck should be leaving this time around The field bunched up nice and tight down the backstretch. Heat race number 2 getting ready to get underway off of turn number 4. The pace truck is in the infield. And we are underway off of turn number 4. David Heilman gets a good jump off the inside of the front row and leads the field down into turn number 1. And it is pretty much a mad dash to the top of the racetrack behind him with Randall Carter right now. Sticking topside in turns 3 and 4. Oh, Carter going to get a shot in the shorts there from the 15 of Dylan Workman. David Heilman still out front right now, ladies and gentlemen, with 1 lap complete. It'll be 2 complete this time by 8 laps to go. Randall Carter in second spot. Anthony Lepresto in third, but he's coming under fire big time from Britton Roxbury. Roxbury in the 4th and final transfer spot. Justin Thomas 1 spot out right now, looking in. Actually, I got that wrong. That was my mistake. Your top 4 transfers are David Heilman, your leader. Anthony Lepresto in second. Oh, there's Britton Roxbury on the outside there. Wheel to wheel down the backstretch into turn number 3. Justin Thomas in 4th, and that is going to round out the top 4 transfer spots. Randall Carter 1 spot out. Bryce Stone, Jeffrey Vaughn, Dylan Workman round out the field. Heilman once again down the backstretch into turn number 3. We're going to be crossing the halfway mark this time. 5 down and 5 to go in heat race number 2. We've got some great racing action behind your leader there, ladies and gentlemen, for the 2nd spot. Roxbury getting around Lepresto. Now a battle shaping up for the 3rd position. Lepresto maybe stepping out a little bit there in the 157 machine. Here comes Justin Thomas on the bottom of the track in turns 1 and 2. The Mode Media House, sponsored number 23 machine. Trying to run down the 157, Lepresto. Right now, still in 3rd spot. 7 laps are complete. 3 laps to go. The field strung out a little bit more this time around. It's going to be 8 and 2. 8 down, 2 to go for Heilman, your leader, right up around the outside of the racetrack. Britton Roxbury, a solid 2nd position right now. 7/10 of a second behind your leader. We're coming off of turn number 4. The white flag going to be in the air. 1 more lap to go for David Heilman. Already back into turn number 1. Roxbury stepping out just a little bit. The car slides all the way to the wall as he enters the bottom of turn number 1. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. David Heilman going to take the win in heat race number 2. Britton Roxbury will be 2nd. Lepresto 3rd, and Justin Thomas your 4th and final transfer position. There you have it, folks. Heat race number 2 in the books. And we'll roll out heat race number 3 here in just a moment. Looks like most of them already on the grid. Ryan Martin going to be in the team VLR number 024 inside the front row. James Edens, your quick qualifier from the 305 portion of tonight's racing. Going to be outside the front row in the 52. Austin Simmelman, the team VLR Oculus RaceOnTexas.com sponsored number 18 machine, going to be inside row number 2 alongside the 41 of Chase Cabre, the Curb Records back number 41 machine. Adam Elby, 2nd place in your 305 race earlier this evening. The Peterbilt sponsor number 74 machine going to be inside row number 3. He'll be alongside the 19 of Brandon Steele, SteelsCycle.com. Back in the number 19 machine, Chris Martin going to be inside row number 4 in the 413. And he'll be alongside the 35 of Nick Cooper. Field is set. Once again, 8 cars on the racetrack. 10 laps the distance. Should be rolling around one more time here behind the Iracing.com pace truck. Everybody on the racetrack. And we'll turn them loose for heat race number 3. Here at the famous Knoxville Raceway, scenic downtown Knoxville, Iowa. For the Marion County Fairgrounds. Also, you see the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum there in the background. And it looks like the pace truck going to pull into the infield this time around. Green flag going to come out. We are underway with Ryan Martin and James Edens on the front row. And here comes Silman on the bottom. I thought for sure the top side would be the dominant one, but on the initial start, and even into turn number 3, Silman down to the bottom of the racetrack in 3 and 4. A lot of guys may be putting a left front up on that inside berm. Really helps to stabilize the car, but boy, is it jarring sometimes behind the wheel. Ryan Martin now 3 wide off a turn. Oh, that's not going to end well. I don't know how that worked out. Ryan Martin and James Edens kind of ghosting through one another there for a moment. But as we complete a lap number 2, it is Austin Simmelman out in front. Leads the field down the backstretch into turn 3. The Team VLR Oculist, RaceOnTexas.com. Sponsored number 8 machine, out in front. James Edens, top shelf through turns 1 and 2, looking to drive around Simmelman on the outside of the racetrack. I don't think it's going to happen that time, but I tell you what, Edens had a good run off of turn number 2, closed a lot of ground. And the same thing down the front stretch, and James Edens leads lap number 4 by 20 thousandths of a second. Edens got the 52 machine pegged around the outside of Knoxville Raceway. Simmelman battling back on the bottom off of turn number 4. Is it going to be enough? No. It's still Edens out front. Oh, and a slide job through turns 1 and 2. Simmelman put a slider on Edens. Edens crosses him back up, retakes the lead off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. We trade slide jobs once again through 3 and 4. Edens slides up the racetrack. Simmelman going to go down to the bottom again. Is he going to try to slide Edens out of the top spot? No. Simmelman sticks to the bottom, hangs on to second, but here comes Chase Cabrera around the outside of the racetrack. Simmelman, pretty much your only car on the bottom of the racetrack. Sticking to it like glue, kind of a Danny Lazowski catfish move there, and you see him sawing on the wheel through transition. The car wants to push wide. You really have to keep it straight down here on the bottom of the racetrack, or you can seriously upset the chassis. And Simmelman gonna lose one more spot to Chase Cabrera. 8 laps down and 2 laps to go. Edens and Chase Cabrera now trading sliders for the top spot. Edens gonna hang on to it at the stripe. The white flag is in the air. 1 more lap to go in heat race number 3. James Edens going to lead the field through 3 and 4. A look to the bottom as Edens bobbles. It's Cabrera on the bottom. It's not going to be enough. James Edens going to get the win. Chase Cabrera will be in 2nd spot. Austin Simmelman 3rd. And Ryan Martin going to be your 4th and final transfer spot. Heat race number 4, 4th and final, 10-lap qualifier of the evening. Going to roll out 7 strong. Timothy Smith going to be inside the front row in the 38. Jason Nygaard outside in the 22. Cole Newhoffen, your 305 main event winner just a few moments ago. Going to be inside the 2nd row in the 8 machine. Cole Cabrera to the outside in the 12. Michael Heilman inside row number 3 in the 30 car, and Devin Johnson to the outside in the 24. And then there is Brett Wright all by himself in the 14 machine in row number 4. Oh, one more pace lap here behind the RaceOnTexas.com. Actually, it's not the RaceOnTexas.com pace truck. It's the Iracing.com pace truck. One more pace lap here for heat race and number 4. And once again, if you are watching the live stream as the iRacing.com pace truck pulls into the infield, we're going to come off at turn number 4. We'll get the green flag for our 4th and final heat race. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching us live here at Knoxville Raceway with night number 2 of the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series. And immediately, Cole Newhoffen looking to the inside of your race leader, Timothy Smith. Going to be enough that time around. Newhoffen right up on the back bumper. The tail tank through 3 and 4. 1 lap in the books. Your top 4 transfers right now are Timothy Smith out in front. Cole Newhoffen in second. Jason Nygaard is third. Here comes Cole Cabrera on the bottom of the racetrack. They're nearly 3 wide through 3 and 4. Cabrera trying to put a slide job on Jason Nygaard for third. It wasn't good enough. Nygaard hangs on to that 3rd spot. Timothy Smith still out front, one of the only leaders to be on the bottom of the racetrack. Smith making it work down there. A 17.168, his best lap of the race, making a 17.075. The racetrack really slowing down here as we work our way through the heat races. And now Smith up to the top of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. Got some good racing there for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th with Newhoffen now down to the bottom of the racetrack on the 2nd set of corners. We've had a pass for 3rd. Cole Cabrera getting around Jason Nygaard on the outside of turns 3 and 4. Cabrera onto the podium. Nygaard still with a transfer spot. The quickest car in pre-race practice, qualified in 8th this evening, and is now sitting in the 4th and final transfer. 4th and final transfer spot here for heat race number 4. Yeah, the racetrack. Oh, we've got one upside down. That is Cole Cabrera, your 3rd spot car, the 12 machine, going upside down in turn number 4. Well, that is going to put Cabrera running the alphabet soup for sure. So Cabrera going to have to really work his way through the field this evening. I'm sure he'll be starting in the C main after finishing dead last in this heat race. That's going to make Michael Heilman your 4th and final transfer spot in the Polaris-sponsored 30 machine. 2 laps to go this time by. Make it 1 lap to go. 9 laps complete here in heat race number 1, or number 4. Off of turn 4 this time by. Was the leader, now the winner. Tim Smith going to take the win. 2nd was the 8 car of Cole Newhoffen. 3rd, the 22 of Jason Nygaard. And your 4th and final transfer spot going to the 30 machine of Michael Heilman. So, we are going to line up. Looks like we're going to skip a C main here, folks. We're going to have 15 cars entered into the B main here. And and we will take the top 4 out of this race right here and put them into our 35-lap main event here at Knoxville Raceway. And the grid for the 12-lap B main rolling out right now. Stephen Calavoda, the Beer Hill Gang sponsored number 27 machine, going to be inside row number 1. Randall Carter to the outside, and the Team VLR sponsored number 37 machine. The Peterbilt back number 74 of Adam Elby going to be inside row number 2. He'll be alongside Devin Johnson in the Busch Light sponsored number 24 machine. Howard Weaver scheduled to be inside row number 3 in the 07 car. He'll be alongside Bryce Stone in the 6 machine. Nick Cooper, 4th row back on the inside in the TTL Esports back number 35 machine, and he will line up alongside Brett Wright in the 14 car. Bradley Stapler, going to be inside row number 5 in the 13 machine. He'll be alongside Jeffrey Vaughn in the 9. Row number 6 will be the 19 of Brandon Steele and the 12 of Cole Cabret. Row number 7, the 97, of Skylar Brown, the 15 of Dylan Workman, and the 413 of Chris Martin. Shotgun on the field. We are green flag off of turn number 4. Stephen Calavoda top shelf through turns 1 and 2. Look at the run for Adam Elby in the 74 car. Down to the bottom of turns 3 and 4. Elby looking to jump up there and grab some positions early on. Remember, only the top 4 transfer. Oh, we've got cars into the wall about mid-pack. Looks like Cole Cabret involved. I do believe Dylan Workman involved. But we are going to stay green. Keep them rolling around the racetrack here, ladies and gentlemen. Good battles going on up front. Your top 4 transfers right now belong to your leader, Adam Elby. Elby on the bottom had gotten around Stephen Calavoda. Elby going to lead lap number 4. They get lap number 3. Stephen Calavoda in 2nd. Randall Carter is 3rd. Nick Cooper is 4th. Those are your top 4 transfer positions. Elby working the bottom side. Maybe Elby thinks the bottom going to be good here come feature time. Once again, 35 laps, and now back up to the top. The 74 machine, the Peterback sponsored number 74 of Adam Elby, working on both the high and low line. We go back down to the bottom of turn number 3. And there you see that berm I was talking about just a moment ago, putting that left front there right on the very bottom of the racetrack. You'll see that a lot here at Knoxville Raceway. Oh, and 2nd spot, Stephen Calavoda tagging the wall down the backstretch, shoots him to the bottom of the track. He's going to lose that runner-up spot to Randall Carter. Actually, that's Nick Cooper there on the bottom of the 35 car. Cooper working the bottom side of turns 1 and 2. Trying to get around Calavoda for the 2nd spot. They're nearly 3 wide behind your leader. Coming off of turn 4, Stephen Calavoda. Inches away from the wall. The Beer Hill Gang sponsor number 27 machine. Really running it on the ragged edges into the wall again down the backstretch. Right through the middle of the racetrack. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, the middle line of Knoxville Raceway is nearly impossible to run quickly. And there's a slide job for 2nd spot. Randall Carter going to make the move through turns 1 and 2. Stephen Calavoda trying that middle groove. It's just not working out. He goes topside through turns 3 and 4. Adam Elby still your leader. 9 laps complete and 3 to go. It just got real back there for 2nd spot. Randall Carter now on the bottom, going to get around Nick Cooper. Oh, what a sketchy slider there. That was almost bad. They are beating and banging for the 4th and final transfer spot. As where in the world did Skylar Brown come from? He's up to 4th position now. Challenging for 3rd down the backstretch. Brown in the factory Casey Kane sponsor, number 97 machine. Comes from nowhere and now has a berth into the A main event. We've got a great group of 4 cars, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the racetrack, beating and banging on one another as we come to the checkered flag. Adam Elby going to get the win. Oh, and across the line, the second spot was Skylar Brown. Steven Calavoda was third. Nick Cooper fourth. Randall Carter, unfortunately, one spot out of a transfer. What a wild finish, ladies and gentlemen, to our B main. That is going to wrap up preliminary racing this evening. All of our qualifying races are done. Has been confirmed, folks. 35 laps the distance. We're going to give these drivers a few minutes here to do some pre-feature warm-ups. And a couple minutes here of pre-feature practice, ladies and gentlemen, and then we will get ready to go with the 35-lap main event for the open setup 360 sprint cars here at Knoxville Raceway. Once again, night number 2 of the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series. We have teamed up with Team VLR, and I tell you what, we are having a blast. Myself, Nick Robbins on the microphone, Scott Bargloff running all of the cameras and everything for me. Got the stream manned and handled down there in Corpus Christi, Texas. Can't thank Scott enough for what he does for RaceOnTexas.com in general, but especially helping me out here with the Iracing streams. I'm just the voice, folks. He's really the wizard behind all of this. It's been a blast to do these shows, and we are having a great time here on week number 2. Once again, we do want to thank Team VLR for sponsoring with us, or partnering with us, that is, to bring you these 8 weeks of great sprint car racing here in what for most of us is the off season. Scott and I just wrapped up our last real race of the season at South Texas Speedway in Corpus Christi last night, and we are back at it again in the virtual world of iRacing. 20 cars going to take the green flag here in just a moment for the 35-lap 360 sprint car main event. I want to give a big shout out to a very special live viewer, Mr. Chris Krug, the announcer for the real 305 and 360 sprint cars at Knoxville Raceway. Chris, thanks so much for tuning in, brother. It is an honor and a pleasure to be calling a race for you this evening. I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. We're certainly having a great time here, and I am super excited to be getting ready to go for the 35-lap main event for the open setup 360 sprint cars here at Knoxville Raceway. Chris, also one of the guys behind the great service, My Race Pass. We use that for South Texas Speedway. Scott and I do, and we absolutely love the service we've been getting this season with our website. It's absolutely fantastic. Everything is updated instantaneously. Of course, we have the tools to do that, but Chris has been instrumental in helping us up our game at our real-life racetrack. And I got to tell you, if you're watching this right now and you are part of a real racetrack, you need to get in touch with Chris Krug and My Race Pass. That group there in Iowa, some of the best in helping you promote your racetrack, getting you quality websites built. They look great, they run great, they're slick, they're just good stuff. And thanks once again so much to Chris for tuning in this evening and helping Scott and I out a lot this season down south at South Texas Speedway. Your lineup for your 35-lap sprint car main event: 360 Sprint Cars, Chris Brenner, David Heilman, row number 1, James Edens and Timothy Smith, row number 2, Dylan Hauser, Britton Roxbury, row 3, Chase Cabray, and your 305 winner, Cole Newhoff, row number 4, Kevin Fry, Anthony Lepresto, row number 5, Austin Simmelman, Jason Nygaard, row 6, Rusty Kruger, Justin Thomas, Ryan Martin, Michael Heilman, Adam Elby, Skylar Brown, Stephen Calavoda, and Nick Cooper, the rest of the field. And we are green down the front stretch at Knoxville. Into turn number 1, right up alongside the wall. Your leader is the 70 of Chris Brenner. Here comes David Heilman down to the bottom of the racetrack. They're nearly 4 wide behind him, ladies and gentlemen. Cars slicing. Oh, we've got a big pile up over in turn number 4. Stephen Calavoda involved, Skylar Brown involved, Rusty Kruger involved. I could see it unfolding as I was watching the front cars there in the rear chase view. So looking back down the back straightaway, I couldn't quite make out who it was, but one car stepping out just in the middle of the racetrack, and then kind of a domino effect there with nowhere to go for about 6 other drivers. It looks like Michael Heilman stopping there to get some damage repaired on the 30 machine. He'll bring it back out on the racetrack. Rusty Kruger there as well. Looks like serving a stop and go penalty. One lap scored there, folks. 1 lap down, 34 to go here. Of course, caution flags not counting here for the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series. And once again, if you are tuning in live through the stream here at RaceOnTexas.com, we very much appreciate you tuning in with us. And we hope you enjoy what you're seeing here on night number 2 of the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series. Hi there, Anthony Dortono. Thanks so much for tuning in, my friend. Appreciate you watching here with us. RaceOnTexas.com. All restarts will be single file in this race. Looks like we're still pacing around here behind the Iracing.com pace truck. Doing fine this evening, Anthony. Hope you are too, sir. Looks like the pace truck pulling off the racetrack right now. We are going green off of turn number 4. 1 lap in the books, 34 to go. Brenner back out in front through turns 3 and 4 on the top side of the racetrack. Once again, top shelf through turns 3 and 4 for your leader, Chris Brenner, having a little bit of a hard time early on in the 305 sprint car feature this evening. Looking for a little bit of redemption, and I'd say right now he's got it. 2 laps in the books through 3 and 4. Brenner now down to the bottom of the racetrack, was your 305 feature winner last week at USA International Speedway. Some good racing going on behind your leader down around the bottom of the track for about, let's say, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Britton Roxbury right now running in the 5th position. Dylan Hauser in 6th. Cole Newhoff, your 305 feature winner, right on the tail tank through the bottom of turns 1 and 2. That's good racing there. 4th, 6th spot on the racetrack. Down the backstretch we go into turn number 1. Newhoff once again on the bottom of the track through 3 and 4. Trying to get around the 2-car of Dylan Hauser and get closer to that top 5 running group. Right now, your leader is still Chris Brenner, 5 laps down. Brenner, top shelf through 3 and 4. Here comes Heilman on the bottom. Is it going to be enough? No. Brenner, top spot down the front boulevard into turn number 1. Once again, inches from the retaining wall. Good racing there for the top spot. Timothy Smith right now kind of in no man's land in the 38 car. Pretty comfortable in 3rd spot. Another side-by-side battle there coming off of turn number 4 is the one for 4th. James Edens right now holds the position. Britton Roxbury actually making the move at the stripe. Roxbury in the 4th position. Eden's back to 5th. Dylan Hauser in 6th. He and then Cole Newhoffen and then Chase Cabre and then Austin Simmelman, literally nose to tail around the hub of this racetrack, down around the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Simmelman steps up to the top shelf off of turn number 2. It's not going to be enough. That's 7, 6, 7, 8, and 9 on the racetrack. Oh, and it looks like Newhoffen gets into the back of Dylan Hauser. Both drivers able to, oh, nope, that's going to do it probably there. We're ping-ponging now down the front stretch through turn number 1. And Adam Elby making some contact there with the 8 car of Cole Newhoffen. Looked like, oh, we got 2 cars into the wall, upside down. Cole Newhoffen is one of them. The other car, I do believe, was the 2 car of Dylan Hauser. So caution gonna come out. 10 laps have been completed, 25 laps to go. This caution coming out for the 2 car of Dylan Hauser and the 8 of Cole Newhoffen. Newhoffen was your 305 feature winner. We'll get everybody sorted out here in just a moment. Get them lined back up. We'll go single file restart one more time. Once again, 10 laps complete. According to race control, 25 laps to go. Dylan Hauser going to tag back onto the back of the field here. And we will get set to go. 25 laps to go when we take the green flag, ladies and gentlemen. 10 laps have been complete. It looks like the Iracing.com pace truck going to roll around one more time. Chris Brenner, your leader in the Driven Sim Sport sponsored 70 machine. David Heilman in 2nd spot. Those two have been running pretty much evenly around the racetrack. Heilman there looking at the bottom a couple of times, trying to get under Chris Brenner and make the move on the bottom of the track. It hadn't been able to complete that pass just yet. Still 25 laps to go. That's plenty of time to get it done. The iRacing.com pace truck pulls into the infield, and we are going to get set to go for 25 more laps off of turn number 4. Brenner, top shelf through the first set of corners. David Heilman, 2nd spot right around the hub of the racetrack. We've got a good battle shaping up for 3rd. Britton Roxbury, right up alongside the wall in turns 3 and 4, looking to get around the 38 of Timothy Smith. I don't think it's going to be enough that time by no. Roxbury, top shelf once again in turns 1 and 2, trying to get around Timothy Smith and take over that 3rd position. Smith holding his own down the backstretch there, wheel to wheel into turn number 3. Brenner still your leader down the front stretch into turn number 1. Could be 11 laps complete. Make that 12 laps complete. And 23 to go. Now it's 13 and 22. This time by Roxbury. Britton Roxbury has not only gotten around Timothy Smith, he's now challenging David Heilman for the 2nd position. Heilman bouncing off the outside wall down the back chute. I'll tell you what, Britton Roxbury yet to get a win so far in the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series, but he has been up towards the front in just about every event we have had. We are now on board with Britton Roxbury off of turn number 4. Sitting in 3rd spot right now, we go bottom. Actually through the middle of turns 1 and 2, slides up to the wall, trying to get around the 17 of David Heilman. You see the wing move forward there, ladies and gentlemen. These wings are cockpit adjustable on these race cars. Moving the wing forward, gonna free up the race car a little bit. Helps it slide through the corners and get a little more sideways. Can also change the wing pitch. More pitch, the nose of the wing down towards the top of the car, and you slide it back. It's going to put a lot more pressure on the rear end of the race car and help those rear tires get more bite. Still battling it out with Heilman for the second spot. Britton Roxbury right now about 0.3 of a second out of second position, although his last lap was better than Heilman's. And still about 1/10 of a second faster that time around as well. Actually, Britton Roxbury currently the fastest car on the racetrack. So Roxbury may be coming alive here in the last half of this race. 18 laps complete, going to be 19 this time by. Brenner just losing the handle on the 27 machine, just losing the lead. He's back to third spot. On the bottom of the track, Chris Brenner had led pretty much since the get-go. Your leader is now David Heilman. Britton Roxbury still in second position. Brenner trying to come back up through the field. 20 laps down, 15 to go. And Britton Roxbury to the bottom of turns 3 and 4. Put the slide job on your leader. David Heilman battling back and have the lead at the stripe. Back down into turn number 1, 21 complete, 14 to go. Heilman slides up the racetrack. Roxbury now on the bottom in turn number 3. Chris Brenner right back in this. We got a yellow on the racetrack. It's going to be for Nick Cooper in the 35. I got to say, folks, I'm disappointed in that one. The race up front was just getting good. Roxbury had just made the move, gotten back around David Heilman. And Chris Brenner right back in this thing. 21 laps complete, ladies and gentlemen. 14 laps to go here in the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series. The 360 Sprint Car feature here at Knoxville Raceway. Once again, folks, 21 down, 14 to go. Britton Roxbury, your new race leader, was the fastest car on the track there for about the last 4 green flag laps we had by a little over 1/10 of a second. Roxbury seems to have found something here late in the race. Still a much better run for Chris Brenner here in the 360 than we had in the 305. Brenner was your 305 feature winner 1 week ago at USA International Speedway, and was having a great race there at the front of this field. Losing it down there on the bottom of turns number 3 and 4. And both David Heilman and Britton Roxbury able to get around. We are still under yellow flag conditions here, folks. Your top 5 look like this. Britton Roxbury, of course, out front. David Heilman in second. Chris Brenner in third. Timothy Smith in fourth. And Austin Simmelman rounds out the top 5 as we go back green. 21 laps complete, 14 laps to go. Britton Roxbury leads the field through turns 1 and 2. David Heilman in the second spot had looked to the bottom of the racetrack that time. Looking to the bottom of the racetrack once again off of turn number 4. It's not going to be enough. Roxbury leads lap number 22. Heilman still there in second. Good battle going on for fourth now between Austin Simmelman and Timothy Smith, and also the 52 of James Edens. A good 3-car battle there, 4, 5, and 6 on the racetrack. And as I say that, Chris Brenner slips up the racetrack near, I think he tagged the wall there at the top of turn number 2. Timothy Smith had closed the gap on third quite considerably that time by. Smith still in fourth, Austin Simmelman right behind him in fifth. Heilman making a run for the top spot. Let's see, last lap time, Roxbury was 0.02 of a second faster. David Heilman has picked up the pace here in these last few laps. Heilman on the bottom of the track. very smooth through the first set of corners. Up towards the wall, here comes Roxbury. Down to the bottom of 3 and 4. Britton Roxbury really has probably the best handling car on the racetrack from what I can see, folks. It's doing well on the bottom. It's doing well on the top. And it's pretty comfortable pretty much anywhere he puts it. Although it seems to be a little bit better on the bottom of turns 3 and 4. The gap that time between first and second was very small off the exit of turn number 2. And in fact, at the stripe, it is 0.347 seconds. And Chris Brenner has come back to life as we've got 27 laps complete, 8 laps to go. It'll be 28 and 7 this time by. Oh, and Brenner into the wall. Oh, heartbreak strikes again for the 70 of Chris Brenner. You say something nice about a guy, he grabs the outside retaining wall with the right rear tire while running third, challenging for second. Bad luck strikes again for Chris Brenner. Was battling for the second position and is now well down in the running order, being scored in 13th at this point. Man, tough break for the 70 car. "27 laps complete, folks. 8 laps to go here. Race number 2 of the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series. Once again, been a full night here at Knoxville Raceway, and these tracks randomly generated. You can check out the Team VLR Facebook page and see those randomly generated racetrack videos. And the interesting thing about that is these drivers don't know where they're going to be until about 15 minutes before the server launches. It's kind of hard to practice for a racetrack when you don't know where you're going to be. They've really got to be on their toes. And we should be going green here in just a few moments, folks. Britton Roxbury, David Heilman, Timothy Smith, James Eden now in 4th spot, and Austin Simmelman rounding out the top 5. Lepresto, Elby, Nygaard, Chase Cabre, and Ryan Martin, the top 10. The green flag back out. We are back underway. Roxbury to the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Let's see if any of the positions shuffle this go around. Look at Heilman on the bottom of the racetrack as Roxbury slides up. Heilman once again to the bottom of turns 3 and 4. Roxbury right around the outside retaining wall, down the front stretch into turn number 1. David Heilman trying to reel in the 421 of Britton Roxbury, and I'd say he's done it down the back stretch. Roxbury battles back around the outside, though, by a wheel as we come back into turn number 3. 2 very distinct lines of racing here at Knoxville Raceway. And Roxbury trying. Oh, we've got another yellow on the racetrack. Yellow this time coming out for Ryan Martin. And Stephen Calavoda. Looking like on the replay there, folks, that Adam Elby getting sideways, and unfortunately for Ryan Martin, nowhere to go. Once we drop the green flag, ladies and gentlemen, we will have 6 laps to go. 29 laps are complete here in the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series. $200 going to the winner of the point standings here at the end of this 8-race series. These guys got a little skin in the game. They are racing for real money. We are keeping track of points. Of course, Alex Bergeron, your winner last week out of Quebec, Canada, not in competition this weekend. So Alex unable to make it 2 in a row, unable to defend that that race win from last weekend, and he will no longer be atop the point standings once we're done here. Chris Brenner, your feature winner 1 week ago in the 305s at USA International Speedway. Of course, the 360 race last week was at Limaland. Both the 305 race and the 360 race this weekend have been here at Knoxville Raceway. And your 305 feature was won by Cole Newhalfen. Earlier this evening, we have got 6 laps complete. I suspect the Iracing.com pace truck to be pulling into the infield this time around. Looks like that's the case. We are going to go green off of 4. And Roxbury maybe getting a little bit of bumper tag there from Heilman coming to the green flag. Heilman, not a very good restart, but he's right up alongside the outside of the racetrack. A different line through 1 and 2 for David Heilman that time. Is it going to pay off? I don't think so, but the gap through 3 and 4 very small this time. Roxbury leads 1 more lap, 30 laps down and 5 laps to go. Here comes Heilman on the bottom of the racetrack off of turn number 2. He's got 2 guys behind him. They're 3 wide there for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That is Timothy Smith, James Edens, and Anthony Lepresto. Putting on a fantastic show for us. Down the front stretch once again into turn number 1, 31 down and 4 to go. Oh, and David Heilman is off the racetrack. Problems for the 17 machine. Your second place car has been coming for so many laps and is going to lose the handle on the 17 machine with 2 to go, this time off of turn number 4, and a 0.8 of a second lead over Timothy Smith. I would say that, barring catastrophe, this one gonna go to the 421 of Britton Roxbury. It's gonna be the white flag this time out, ladies and gentlemen. 1 more half mile here in race number 2, the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series. Britton Roxbury out in front. Smith, Lepresto, Edens, and Simmelman, your top 5. Down the backstretch for the final time into turn number 3. The 421 machine gonna grab the win. Britton Roxbury gonna take it here at Knoxville. Second spot, Timothy Smith, Anthony Lepresto in 3rd. James Edens and Austin Simmelman round out the top 5. Chase Cabray, Chris Brenner, Dylan Hauser, Rusty Kruger, and Skylar Brown. 6 through 10. Jason Nygaard, Ryan Martin, Adam Elby, Justin Thomas, Michael Heilman, David Heilman, Stephen Califoda, Kevin Fry, Nick Cooper, and Cole Newhalfen rounding out the field. Well, folks, there you have it. Britton Roxbury winning a barn burner of a 35-lap main event here at Knoxville Raceway. We'll drag him down here into the press box. And get a word with the winner of night number 2. Britton Roxbury, Nick Robbins. Brother, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, congratulations on picking up the win here. Night number 2, the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series. Here at Knoxville, do you think... first of all, congratulations. Good job tonight. Do you think that running both races on the same track helped you at all?
Yeah, it kind of did. I'm a big fan of Knoxville anyway, so I was really looking forward to this track. I got some 305 experience in, but there's only so much they can teach you before you get out here at the 360s and got to really use the throttle control.
That's it. I think that's the biggest thing, stepping up from that 305, like you said. There's only so much you can learn. It's such a different driving style. There's such a momentum-based car. You can work for 6, 7, 8 laps to try to make up one spot in a 305. And you do that maybe sometimes in these 360s, but with the extra power and really responsibility of your right foot, it is a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, it's fun though. I mean, using that throttle, because that's all it was there at the end, was nothing but just a pedal fest. And, I knew I was running low on fuel too, so I just, on the bottom, last few laps, just barely touching the throttle.
Yeah, quite a few cautions here. I think we ended up making about 50 or 55 laps, counting all the cautions. So You know, and that's something that I think that a lot of people don't realize that you have to worry about too. You know, you can adjust the fuel load. You don't want to run 20 some odd gallons in the tank if you don't have to, but you also don't want to run, 55 or 60 laps if you don't have to either.
Yeah, exactly. I know here recently I've lost a lot of VLR features due to running out and stuff and trying to play the fuel game, and I've kind of learned my lesson. I actually played it safe and was still running a little bit lower than I thought on fuel.
Hang on, we're not going green.
Man, I tell you what, it was some good racing tonight. Both features were really good. A lot of good slide jobs here, and that's what Knoxville's known for. You know, it's really difficult to run through the middle of this racetrack. The banking is not very steep. The bottom is kind of treacherous with that big berm. If you put a left front over it, you're good. But if you four wheels over that dude, you're done. And then, of course, the wall is the wall. It's not going to move for you. So which do you prefer? Do you like the bottom, like the top? I noticed you in both places a lot tonight.
Yeah, honestly, I dislike the top and I dislike the bottom a ton. So I decided to throw some slider lines there and just use up the middle, kind of slide up the track and use the banking at the top to kind of shoot me back down. And that felt to me like it was the safest and yet fastest line.
It's really kind of what you have to do here, and as you got guys like Heilman was coming there a couple times this evening. David had a good run in second spot with until about 2 to go. I don't know what happened there, but he was off the racetrack. But he was kind of running both as well. You kind of have to play offense and gaining speed every lap. Of course, you want to be faster, but you've also got to play defense because the guy behind you is one of the best there is in these sprint cars on iRacing, and you've got to constantly be aware of not only where you are but where they are.
Yeah, exactly. Like Heilemann, he's really quick. I've raced with him a ton. I know he's always on my radar. Got to watch for him. I mean, I can't believe I've caught Brenner and Heilemann like as fast as I did, because I mean, as we know, they're like the top guys on here. So I mean, to say you can catch them that fast is just something else.
It was definitely a good race to watch there between the three of you, and you and Heilman both got around Brenner, and then Brenner comes back around trying to make it work. The race, nonetheless, man, was great. Britton, who do you want to thank on this thing?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for coming on, broadcasting this stuff. First and foremost, all the guys at Driven Sim Sport, got to really thank them for all the help and letting me come on for them. Got to thank my company, Rockstar Productions. Need any video editing done, sim related, racing related, anything, I'll take care of you. And also the guys at the Dirt Racing Network.
Absolutely. Well, Britton Roxbury, once again, brother, congratulations on winning night number 2, the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series here at Knoxville.
All right, thank you.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to conclude racing action from Knoxville Raceway here with RaceOnTexas.com. The second night of the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series in the books. On behalf of Scott Bargeloff, myself, Nick Robbins, the rest of the crew at Race on Texas and Team VLR, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, these videos get uploaded to YouTube, so you can watch them whenever you want. We will be cutting a highlight reel, I'm sure, posting it on our Facebook page as well. Check out the Team VLR Facebook page, the Race on Texas Facebook page. Follow both of those pages if you haven't already. Like them as well. Check out the RaceOnTexas.com YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe to that. Click that bell icon so you can get notifications of when new videos go up. And hope to see y'all next week right here, RaceOnTexas.com for the RaceOnTexas.com Sprint Car Series.